thread that ties my work together over the years is a strong strain of expressionism. I try to reach as directly as possible into the psyche to stretch awareness and nourish growth. Fantasy is one of my essential tools. Exploring the emotional ramifications of color combinations and intensities, I strive for the most evocative effect. I like painting on hard surfaces, such as masonite, and developing imagery through layers of transparent acrylic washes. I received my BA in Fine Arts from UCLA, graduating with honors in 1963. For the next 8 years, I continued to live in Southern California, where my work appeared in several one-person shows and competitive group shows. Since I moved to Sacramento in 1971, my paintings have been shown mainly in local and Bay Area galleries and competitive shows. One of the founders of Matrix in 1978, I am still affiliated with this organization. When we first moved to Sacramento, I submitted a painting to a competition that was put on by the Crocker Art Museum. Subsequently was invited to show a painting at the Artist Contemporary Gallery, which was a very good and prestigious gallery in Sacramento. A lot of the big name artists showed their work there. So I was very pleased and submitted a landscape, a nice landscape, and it sold. And that surprised me and pleased me, and the gallery owner too, and she invited me to participate in the next group show that they had. At that time I had been doing some feminist paintings, and one in particular that I had just finished and liked a lot was a woman putting her hair up in pin curls, which was the way to curl your hair in those days. And I'd wasted a lot of time as a teenager doing that. Now I realize that it was pretty much a waste of time. And so I did this kind of raw painting, self-portrait really, of a woman putting her hair up in pin curls. And I knew that this wasn't the kind of painting that was going to sell at this nice gallery. It wasn't something that somebody would want to hang over their couch or even have in their house necessarily. It was pretty raw and kind of unpleasant looking. But it was what I was doing at the time, and I found it very satisfying. So I thought, well, I'll turn this painting in and we'll see what happens. So I did, and Betty Mass, the woman who ran the gallery, a very nice lady, she hung the painting, did not say anything about it. Of course it didn't sell, and then I was not invited to show anymore at that gallery, which was pretty much what I expected. And I realized that the kind of art that I wanted to do was not something that was going to be welcome in a commercial gallery. I also didn't want to be put under the pressure of having to paint for a show every year or two, for a solo show. I had tried that in the past, and I didn't work well under pressure, and a lot of the stuff that I turned out was not that good. So I thought I will paint as I want to paint for the reasons I want to paint, which was mostly self-expression, really. This was from a photograph of my my grandmother's family. This is her as a young teenager, and all her brothers and sisters. The tragedy was that very shortly after this was made, both of her parents died, and so these children were orphaned. My grandmother was old enough, and I think her oldest, her next oldest sister, were old enough. The other children were sent to an orphanage, and they had a pretty rough life, and it was really kind of sad. But I just loved this photograph, and so I did a painting of it. This would be my grandfather. Had been a real a real character in West Virginia. That's just where he was from, and he had ended up in prison because he killed a man. He said in self-defense, and I kind of think that that was true. His son saw the incident and said, yes, it was self-defense. But my grandfather was such a bad character that I think they locked him up just to get him out of circulation. So I wanted to, again, kind of absorb all this information. So I did a portrait of him from his prison picture. And again, this is a reason why I wasn't really the right fit for a commercial gallery, because nobody is going to want to buy that painting and hang it on their walls. I've never hung it on my walls, but it was a good way for me to express my feelings about the whole business and kind of accept this character into my lineage, so to speak. So being affiliated with a nonprofit gallery like Matrix was the solution for that, because there was no pressure to paint paintings that would sell, and you were encouraged, in fact, to follow your own path and paint as you wanted, and that's what worked for me. When we moved down to Monterey, the country around here is so beautiful that I had to paint landscapes. I hadn't really done that much since university, when I was required to do it for a class. But it's so gorgeous that it just compelled me. And also I wanted to make it part of me. The garden always is a work in progress as much as a painting is, and I'll never finish with it. And I love gardening, so that's how I, in fact, get most of my exercise. So it works out well. In the morning, painting. In the afternoon, gardening. That's a perfect day.